Welcome back to Algebra 1, Chapter 10, Section 5 in this book. And I've already taught this once, and at the end, it's in my memory card was full. So irritating. So I'll try to be cheerful about teaching it again, because I felt like I did a really good job just a second ago. Anyway, so what we have been learning is this. We learned how to multiply these two things, these binomials, and to get this, we'd do x times x is x squared, x times 4 plus 2 times x is 6x, 4x plus 2x is 6x, and 2 times 4 is 8. Now we're going to go backwards. We're going to start with this and figure out what those are. See, that's why it says backwards, and you're going to do great with it. I had a hard time because I had this really bad concussion and it was so confusing. But you're not concussed, so you are going to understand this just fine, I promise. Okay, and also thinking back, I don't think my teacher did a very good job teaching it. I remember what she said, and I think I can show you a much more logical way to get the answer. All right, so remember that the solutions to these equations is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So like for this one, the solutions are -2, -4. And if you don't understand that, go watch the last tape, okay? And I drew it wrong because they should both be over here. This graph does not go with that. Just make sure you know. All right, so now how do you go backwards, okay? Now, first, I'm going to show you how all of these don't have a number here. They're all an understood one. So today, we're going to do it if they're all understood ones. Next video, we'll talk about if it's not a 1. Okay? So, step 1, you draw the parentheses. That was easy. Step 2, you put x's right there. That was easy. Step 3, I'm going to erase this. You look at the bare number and you write its factors in a big U. I taught you to do that if you took pre-algebra from me, but I'll show you what I mean in case you didn't. The factors of 8, we're going to start with 1, and you can multiply 1 times 8 to get 8. Then we're going to go to the next number counting. After 1 is 2. What do you multiply times 2 to get 8? You multiply times 4. Does 3 go into 8? No. 4 were already here. So we know we have listed all the factors because we're back to the back side of the U saying the same number. So you go around like that and we have gotten all of them. Now what you do is you think which of these factors, if they were added or subtracted, could you get the middle term? Can you add or subtract 1 and 8 to get 6? No, you can't. 8 plus 1 is 9, 8 minus 1 is 7. So mark it out. How about 2 and 4? Yes. 2 plus 4 is 6. So that's what you do next. Let's see what I do with my water. There it is. I wonder if there's any in there. Ah, a drop. Okay. Now what you do is you look at the middle term, and the middle term will have the same sign as the biggest number. 4 is bigger than 2, so we put a plus here because there's a plus at the middle term. Lastly, we think, what does this term need to be for these two numbers to be multiplied to get that one? And this needs to be positive, because positive 2 times positive 4 is positive 8. If this was negative, that would be negative 8. And those are the factors. Ta-da! We got back there, yay! And the solutions, remember, are the opposite sign. So these are the factors, and the solutions are equal to -2, -4. It would cross at -2, -4 over there. Okay, let's try this one. Step 1, draw parentheses. Step 2, write x's. Step 3, make the factor U for the bare number. And this one only has 1 and 2, so we know it's 1 and 2. And it doesn't matter if you write the 2 there or the 1 there, they're all the same. Okay? Now the signs. Here's the middle term is positive, 2 is bigger than 1, it gets the positive. What does this need to be for that to be positive 2, it needs to be positive. And 1 plus 2 is 3. It worked. Yay! So the solutions are -1, -2. The opposite sign. Let's try this one. Step 1, draw parentheses. Step 2, write your x's. Step 3, write your factors. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. 3 is the next number. We know we're done with the big U. Can 1 and 6 be added to get 5? Yeah. Could 2 and 3 be added to get 5? Yeah. We'll try 1 and 6 first. 1 and 6. This is the bigger number. It would get the negative. What number does this need for this to be positive? Well, it would need to be negative, but this would be -6 plus -1. That's -7. That's the wrong answer. So when there's more than one that work, you have to try them both. I know it's a pain, but you can do it. So it was not 1 and 6. It made -7, not -5. So now we're going to try 2 and 3. 5 is, the negative goes to the bigger one. Now what does this need to be for that to be +6? Well, it needs to be negative because 2 negatives make a positive. And now is -3x plus -2x -5x? Yes, it is. So now we found it, and the solutions are 2 and 3. Okay, let's try this one. Whoop, whoop. It's more fun with sound effects. X, factors of 8. 1 and 8, 2 and 4, 3 doesn't go into it. Can 8 and 1 be added or subtracted to get 2? No. So it must be 2 and 4. Negative, because that's the bigger number. What does this need to be for that to be a -8? It needs to be positive, because +2 and -4 is -8. Okay? Let's show. And what are the solutions? They are -2, +4. Let's do this one. Okay? Step 1, draw your parentheses. Step 2, put your x's. Step 3, factors of 18. 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. 5 doesn't go into it. We're done. Can you add or subtract 1 and 18 to get 7? No. Can you add or subtract 2 and 9 to get 7? Yes. Can you add or subtract 3 and 6 to get 7? No. So we know it's 2 and 9. Bigger number gets the sign of the middle term. What does this need to be for that to be negative? It's a positive and negative for that to be negative. You multiply a positive and negative to get a negative. What are the solutions? 2 and -9. Let's try this one. Parentheses. X's. Factors of 4. 1 and 4, 2 and 2. Can you add or subtract 1 and 4 to get 3? Yes, you can. Can you add or subtract 2 and 2 to get 3? No. Middle term gets the sign of the bigger one. What does the other one need to be for that to be negative? To multiply and it be negative, it's got to be a positive times a negative. Does it work? 4 minus 1 is 3. Yes. What are the solutions? They're 1 and -4. Woo! One more time. Draw our parentheses. Draw our x's. Write down our factors. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Can you add or subtract 1 and 6 to get 3? No, you get 7 or 5. Can you add or subtract 2 and 3 to get 3? No, you cannot. You get 5 or you get 1. Oh no, we marked them all out. What do we do? The answer is this cannot be factored. Not that it can't be graphed, not that it can't be solved, it just can't be factored. Turns out we're going to get more tools in our toolbox. We're going to learn completing the square. We already know the quadratic equation. So it's just factoring doesn't work for all of them. If it works, as you might figure out, it's kind of easy. But sometimes it doesn't work, and then we would have to get out a new tool out of our toolbox and solve it a different way, which we were not doing today, because today we're talking about factoring. What's wrong with this one? It's ugly. 10's on the wrong side. So before we do anything, we need to move it over by doing the opposite. We get x squared minus 3x minus 10. Now we can factor it. Factors the 10. 1 and 10, 2 and 5, 3 and 4 don't go into it. We're done. Can we add or subtract 1 and 10 to get 3? No. Must be 2 and 5. Okay? Bigger number, sign of the middle. What does this need to be for these to be multiplied to get a negative? It's got to be a positive. A positive and a negative makes a negative. What are the solutions? -2, +5. Okay. We are also going to learn to do this on our calculator. Make sure you watch the calculator labs. All right? Math is great.